Now, Piet Mondrian is going to be one of the founders of the Stil, named after the magazine, meaning the style. And he is interested in the universal over the individual. He's looking for universal laws of visual art, believing that if you wipe away as much content as possible, if you abstract and simplify something, you will eventually land at some universal rules of art, things that will speak to someone in any culture, in any society. So he sought laws of art like in economics or mathematics, where we tend to see these overarching laws that apply to everything. He also sought a new plastic unity, plastic here referring to flexible. His first goal was to create such a universal expression that it is a real equation of the universal and the individual. And he will be inspired by industrial plastic forms. Now, the piece we're looking at is composition with red, blue, and yellow. And here he has limited his artistic vocabulary to primary colors, principal values, in other words, black, white, and gray, and the horizontal and the vertical. So he's kept things to the bare minimum, the simplest possible form. The primary colors and values are the purest color and therefore perfect for the development of a harmonious composition. He alters the size and placement of color planes to create an internal cohesion and harmony, at least in his mind. Now, dynamic tension develops due to the size and position of the lines and colors. Let's look at the piece. As we look at it compositionally, it actually works. It's very simple, but it works. So we have one element, the red element, which takes up probably close to 2/3 of the canvas. And then we have blue taking up far less, and then yellow taking up proportionally less. Now, why does this work? It gives us a sense of tension. First of all, we want the yellow to touch the red, just like the blue kind of touches the red. We want the yellow to be involved somewhere else in the piece. And then splitting this right here at the yellow gives us an interest. We're drawn to it, even though it's the smallest color. We're also drawn to the piece because red is a color of danger, a color of passion, a color of anger. We tend to be attracted to the color red, which is why we use it for stop signs and stoplights and all of that sort of thing. Whereas blue is calming. And here we get a sense he's bringing out an emotional idea of someone being very angry or very passionate, and this calming element, almost as if you're going back and forth. Yes, this is hot and fiery, and here's water to quench your thirst. And here we go back to the hot wings and back to the water. You get the idea. Visually, he's kind of moving us back and forth. And every once in a while, we go over to the yellow. Yellow, of course, meaning happiness in our general language of color. The lines, you'll also notice, aren't always the same thickness, and that will kind of get to us after a while. At some point, you will notice that this line is unusually thick compared to all of the others, except for maybe this line, which may be a little bit thicker than any of the others. So there's a lot going on. From a compositional perspective, he has simplified the composition to the point where he's hoping he finds these universal rules, these universal laws, something that will speak to everyone.